Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Issues, either a loss of a loved one, a breakup, a divorce, or even the loss of a job, or even, some challenges that we face in our personal lifestyle. And reality is that sometimes we get stuck in the storm and we don't really know how to get out of the storm. But today it's all about learning how to overcome the challenges that we face in life's journey and how to be able to ride over the storm without allowing the storm to drown you. I shared my quote with you to get started with: the storms that we face in life are not meant to reveal our weaknesses. The test or the storms that we face, they're meant to help us discover our strength. And when you look at a storm, it's looking at sometimes we get carried away by the storm because we're looking at everything that's blowing around the storm, and we're not really focusing on how to pinpoint a way out of the storm. We keep listening to all the noises around the storm, and listening to all the noises around the storm cannot truly get you out the storm. It will actually drown you in the storm. So today it's looking at how to overcome life's challenges when we face those storms in life and when we get stuck in our own journey. And I'm trying to log on, but I can't log on to Facebook because they won't let me. So I'm going to just do this on my mobile phone. And if you're watching, I encourage you to share this with someone that you know that may be going through a storm or maybe stuck in a storm and not knowing how to go out. Storms also reveal how fearful we are in our own spaces. And fear, of course, is a source from trauma, emotional trauma that we may have carried from childhood and may not really know how to get out of. And we get caught up in the storm. And sometimes that storm also awakens our ego as a form of self-defense and part of a coping mechanisms that we develop in life's journey when we don't really know how to develop resiliency or discover ourselves and discover our strengths and overcome the storms that we face. We may sometimes even bury the storm and then have to go through life again, riding the waves of the storm and then hitting another storm, and that really, takes us down. But today it's looking at what that storm is in your life and asking yourself, how do I overcome it? The first thing I want you to note is this: not everyone will understand your storm because that storm is for you. Let me say that again. Not everyone would understand your storm because that storm is for you to discover your inner strength, to discover yourself, to overcome the challenges that will help you evolve in life's journey. And so people will have things to say about your storm, and people would always project from where they're operating from about your storm, but not everyone would understand your storm, and not everyone can ride the waves of the storm with you. So having said that, no matter where you are in your journey, don't focus on the noises around the storm. This storm is meant to help you uncover your true self. This storm is meant to help you discover your inner strengths. This storm is meant to help you develop a growth mindset so that as you evolve in life's journey, your faith is growing. You're mastering your own life because you're the CEO and you're able to ride the waves of any other storm that you may face in the future. The storm in this moment may be you going through a relationship breakup. The storm may be you going through a divorce. The storm may be you going through a loss of a loved one. The storm may be you going through hard times in life. The storm may be you getting stuck in life's journey. The storm may be you losing a job. The storm may be you facing challenges at your workplace. The storm may be a health issue. Whatever that storm is, I don't want you to focus on the storm. I want you to focus on what the storm is teaching you about yourself, because that's why we get storms in life. The storms come to enlighten us. They come to teach us about the parts of us that we're yet to discover. The storm is bringing us conscious awakening that we need to evolve, that we need to build resiliency, that we need to find ourselves. And if we're not finding ourselves, then we're getting drowned in the storm. And we're also listening to all the off your focus of your journey, and you may end up getting up at a stop that's not meant to be yours in your own journey in life. So the first thing that you have to note about the storm is it carries a lot of weight around it. Sometimes that weight comes not from the present moment, comes from past experiences that we may not have learned from or evolved from yet. And it may be a childhood trauma, it may be an adult trauma, it may be a health issue, it may be any other thing that you may have gone through in life. The weight of the storm, the weight that the storm carries, is not only from the present moment, it carries every other weight from the past. And so you have to learn to shed the weight during the storm. Otherwise, you will keep getting drowned and you may not be able to evolve. So the first thing you have to do is to look at the weight. What weight are you carrying in this moment in the storm that you're in? What weight are you carrying in this moment in the storm that you're in? Journal those down. I don't know what the weight is. If I tell you what the weight is, I'm only projecting from where I'm operating from, because I'm not in your life and I don't know what's going on in your life. You are the only person that knows what is going on. And to be able to be truthful to yourself in this moment, you have to evaluate what weight the to uncover. This is life coaching moment about you uncovering how to deal with the storms that you go through in life. Write those things down. What are those weights that you're carrying? As you look at each weight that you're writing down in your sheet of paper, ask yourself, what experience are you gaining? What knowledge are you gaining from that experience? What knowledge are you gaining from that experience? Because every experience is a teacher in life's journey to help us discover our true selves. And if you're not discovering who you are, then you're either going to get lost in life and you're going to be in survival mode and you're not going to be able to get out of it. And the goal is to be able to ride through the storm and overcome it. And as you overcome every storm that you face, you turn every stepping stone into, you turn every obstacle into stepping stones for your own greatness and for your own evolvement in life's journey. So as you look at each thing that you're learning from the weight that you carry, ask yourself, what do you need to do about that weight? Do you need to lose the weight? Do you need to shed the weight? Losing is different from shedding, because you may lose because you're going to commit to working on it. You may shed because the weight is stressing you out and is making you shed the weight. You may shred the weight because you're looking to get rid of it completely. You're really committed. You're really looking to dive into it. You're dissecting it. You're examining it and tearing it apart. You're pulling out the onion layers. You're looking at it as, this is not going to be my obstacle anymore. This is going to be my stepping stone. But I have to be able to get to the little bit of the piece of the onion that is the most important part of the onion. And as you peel back, because every layer gets to flake out at the end of the day, if you're carrying that weight for too long, the weight begins to shred off the dead leaves. And you have to shed dead leaves. I've told you from my quote, from my book, Beyond the Pain, dead leaves cannot bring trends. And so that's what weight looks like. As you uncover the weight, the second thing I want you to look at are the lessons. What are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about what you think are your weaknesses? What are you doing to turn what you call weaknesses into strengths? Because that's how you build your resiliency. That's how you discover yourself, then live in your own shadow. That's how you overcome everything that you're going through. And as you do that, ask yourself the third thing. Who are those people that you can look up to that can help you get out of whatever place you're stuck in? Because not everybody can ride the storm with you. And not everybody is meant to come on your life's journey with you. And if you're not seeking wisdom from those that have wisdom, you may end up seeking advice from those that are also going through the storms of life. And all they do is project on you from where they're operating from. And that place brings pain and judgment. And you don't need judgment when you're going through the storm. You need people that can listen and support you and help you ride out the storm. And so you have to look deep within. Who are those people that you trust that can help you ride out the storm? Those are the kind of people that you need in your circle, not the ones that will judge you or give you advice from where they're operating from. because they also don't know how to get out the storm. They're just looking to have more people to ride storms of life. To where my thought-provoking thoughts and critical thinking skills help me ride the storm better. And if you're not really doing that, what you will find yourself doing is hopping in life quickly. You're always hopping, and you hop and you're hitting another storm. But I want you to look at how you process your thoughts. Do you rush to make decisions? Do you think before you act and reason will react? That's another quote from my book, Beyond the Pain. Do you sit with your emotions? Do you sit with your thoughts? Can you learn from them? Who are you in the moment of the storm? Who are you supposed to become after the storm? What is the storm helping you discover about who you are in this moment? Are you allowing fear of the storm to dictate the pace at which you're going? Or are you allowing yourself to step up in faith to overcome and ride through that storm to where you are now building resiliency that pushes you on in life's journey? Reality is only a few people can help you when you're riding through the storms of life. And the first person that can help you is you yourself. Because you know what you're going through. And as you write down what you're going through, examine everything that you're writing down. Because you will gain clarity when you learn to sit in stillness and humility. Then you allow the noise around the storm to weigh you down. Always know this: when there's a storm, the eye of the storm is the part that matters most. Because the eye of the storm is what hits hard the most. And when you look at the eye of the storm, it hits hard because there's the storm. And as long as you're owning the truth and you're learning the lesson, you will ride through that storm and realize, I didn't drown. I just discovered how to evolve, how to overcome that challenge, how to build on it than listening to all the wind blowing around it. If you focus, that's the key word, focus on the eye of the storm, and you take the lesson and the truth that the eye of the storm is bringing to you in this very moment, you will ride through the waves. It takes faith. It takes commitment. And it takes making a conscious choice. Those 5 things to ride out the storm. It takes a truth that you would have to own. that will set you free. It takes gaining the conscious awareness of the lessons that you now apply in the middle of the storm to your life to help you discover the strength that you need to get to the next phase of your journey. No one can do it if you're not doing the work. That's a true fact. People would always have things to say, do, and spread about you. But you are the one who needs to ride out the storm. So you have to focus back on you, not on everything. The eye has to come back to you. The eye of the storm has to come back to you. And as you look inward, ask yourself, where are you with yourself? What are some of the limited beliefs that keep taking you back into the storm? What are you doing to learn the lessons from the storm? And as you learn the lessons from the storm, you not only gain wisdom, you gain understanding about yourself. You discover your strengths. You discover the parts of you that you don't know yet. And what do you do next? You evolve. And as you evolve, you realize the people you no longer need, the noises around the storm, and you shed the weight. And as you shed the weight, you keep going. The road after the storm may look lonely. It's always lonely because it's part of discovering yourself. It's going to be like you're going through the wilderness after the storm. But that's where you gain the knowledge that you need. That's where you build the resiliency. That's where you push yourself out of survival mode. That's how you allow yourself to discover your inner strengths. That's how you discover that you alone were able to walk the 9 months journey in the womb. And so you can walk the wilderness journey because those are not meant to harm you. Those are meant to help you evolve. And as you walk through the wilderness, you get to your garden where you're now seeing the growth happen. You're now moving into a phase of bloom in your own season. But when you went through the wilderness, you alone were able to obtain the clarity that you need. It was a lonely road. And it's going to be a lonely road if you're just about to walk it. But you need to just gain the knowledge to discover your strengths, to stop living in survival mode, to start thriving, to stop existing, to start living, to stop living in your shadow, to become the light that you are, to stop chasing after love and to recognize the love that you are. And as you do those things, you now see the results that you need. And you realize the storm wasn't meant to drown you. It was meant to help you evolve. And as you evolve and you continue to go, you continue to discover how strong you are. You continue to build on your faith. You continue to build on your resiliency. And you continue to step into your greatness and growth. And no one will have the power to stop you. Because when you master your life, you have become a higher level of self. And at that point, nothing can stop you from going except you choose to stop yourself. Think about these things deeply. Replay this if you need it. I wanted to share this today. It's been in my head since I woke up. I woke up twice. I went back to sleep and it came back again. And I know somebody needs to hear this and somebody needs to implement this. And as you continue to implement, remember, storms can drown you. If you choose to hold your head up high and discover yourself and discover your strengths, and as you do, you can only grow higher emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and your body no longer keeps a score of everything that blows around in the storm. But you are now building your truest and highest self to where you're turning obstacles into stepping stones daily as you don't last forever. You have the power to overcome the storm, and you have the power to turn every obstacle into stepping stones towards your greatness and growth. And let no one stop you, because you are indeed the CEO of your life. Until next time, never stop loving while living. When you stop loving, you stop living. When you stop living, it means it's time to go back to the maker. But while you still have the life and breath, make sure that you're riding through the storm and you're keeping your focus on the eye of the storm and turning back inwards to yourself to discover your strengths so that you can keep building and evolving and becoming restored in your own life, knowing that at the end of life, it's time to go back. And there's no going back to reliving life when time is up. All you have is this moment. Go leave it and be you. Become the you that you need to be in your own life's journey. Take good care. God bless. Bye-bye.